So I want to address this angle. Jeez. I want to address...
Hold on. We're going to come right back because I want her to hear the tone in her voice just then.
I just want to say I'm not sorry for my tone of voice just then.
Shocking.
He's wrong because he had the video camera.
That's too much of me. More you.
In our crotches. So I want to address the young man who said in the comments that he was dating a woman. He's a black man who was dating a woman, a white woman, who he knew it wouldn't work out with her because there were incidences of microaggressions and straight up aggressions against him, and she kept explaining them away, and it made him feel some type of way. And Todd and I talked about that comment.
This is, excuse me, everybody. This is something like we go into a restaurant and they say you don't have a table, and then I go in and they have a table, that type of thing.
Yeah, but then that
would be a microaggression.
Yeah,
okay.
and then you would say, oh well, he didn't mean it. It's probably not about your race. Yeah. So yeah, that happens with us too. I think it happens because, at least with us, and Todd has said to me, and I don't want to speak for you entirely, babe. Tell him why you think this happens. Why do you feel like a knee-jerk reaction to defend who we might think is a microaggressor when this type of thing happens?
Why do I what?
Why do you feel the knee-jerk reaction to defend or make an excuse for the person who is the microaggressor?
I don't think there's always a knee-jerk reaction to do that.
Often. Sometimes.
Me?
Sometimes with you too, yes. We've discussed this.
I know. Are we talking about me or like in general?
We're talking about you now. Like you can only speak for yourself.
Yeah. Well, I know on occasion, for me, it's just a simple fact of like trying to believe in people, which is probably naive. And that would be my fault. That's too much for me.
That's that you feel like that you want to believe in the best of them, that they don't mean any harm.
Yeah, but that's kind of a weak thing. But it is in like general. That's how I try to live. But you know what I mean? Like not judging somebody right away. I think I personally have a hard time, no matter what the situation, whether it's a microaggression or anything that I didn't see firsthand or witness firsthand, being able to jump at like a side of it. Do you know what I mean? So if you came to me or one of my daughters came to me or a friend came to me and said, oh, this person did this or something, but I didn't see it and I don't know the full context of something, I have a tough time judging that right away.
Well,
do you know what I'm saying?
I do know, but I don't feel like that absolves anybody of anything, because I feel like microaggressions are invisible attacks at times, and you can't really see the damage, and so you have to, just trust that happened to that person and how they feel internally.
Yeah. I'm not saying that I want to brush away that you're feeling a certain way, that you shouldn't feel that way because I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
I don't mean it that way. I'm saying it's hard for me to like take up arms against a situation when I haven't seen, when it didn't happen to me or I didn't witness it or something like that.
Okay, so that's the scenario then, but when you haven't seen it.
But you bring up a good point though, because I think that a danger of that would be not to acknowledge. Like if I was to be internally struggling about what to do in a situation and not acknowledge the fact that you're upset about something, that would be dangerous.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be fair.
Yeah. And sometimes, that's for the scenario where you haven't witnessed it, but there have been scenarios where you have been standing right next to me and it's happening. And, you feel like, okay, maybe this guy doesn't mean how this is looking. But I know in my heart of hearts, this guy is a freaking racist.
I think it's simpler than that. I don't even think that I am questioning. I'm thinking I don't even see it.
Yeah.
Because of my upbringing.
Yes. And so that's what I wanted to get to, sir, in the comments. I do think you bring up a valid point. And if you're going to be in a relationship, cross-cultural, cross-racial, whatever relationship, you have to accept that there are going to be experiences on both sides that you just aren't privy to. Well, on the other side that you're not privy to. And for Todd or anyone else who's white, they're never going to fully understand the Black experience as much as they sympathize, empathize with it.
Was his comment, he
didn't feel supported by that girl.
Okay, so no, that's very valid.
Yeah.
And that has to be addressed.
That's like brushing aside something bad because you want to make your world better.
Or you don't want to feel uncomfortable.
You don't want to feel uncomfortable, so you're brushing aside that person feeling that way. You know, so yeah, you're valid in your assertion.
I definitely think that's one thing I've learned in, this is going to sound bad, but since I met you, is learning how to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, but being willing to be uncomfortable.
In a way, it's a joke to you, toward you, but...
yeah, being willing to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the root of an issue of a lot of things. You hear things being turned around, like when there's a situation and somebody that's not being affected tries to make it like about their feelings or something.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah. Like we don't, when you're being aggressed against, whether be it racial or whatever, you don't have time, emotional bandwidth to be thinking about
worrying about somebody else,
worrying about somebody's other feelings. What you want to feel is loved and supported in the context of your relationships. So for all of these people who put in the comments, they want a white man, they want a Black man, they want an Asian man or woman or whoever, gender neutral person. I don't know what y'all are thinking, that it's going to be some like grass is greener on the other side situation. It can't be that unless you're willing to have some hard conversations and be really uncomfortable sometimes, especially right now when everything on the news is about division and uprising and things like that. You have to talk.
We talk about uncomfortable things, but I don't feel uncomfortable talking to you about it.
Yeah, and I think that's because we have practice.
Well, I guess that's true, but I mean, you'll bring things to my attention, and I'm like, Jesus, I'm a piece of junk. Because I
swear to God, I do not try to make my husband feel like a piece of
I'm
junk.
not saying that at all. You'll bring some, like, you'll educate me on something that I never really thought about, or just, I didn't think about it in a way that I should have or could have, and it hits me, and I'm like, whoa, like that needs to be rethunk,
revisited. Yeah. And I think the same happens on my side too. Like, I don't have a chip on my shoulder, but I'm always, because of my work and sometimes I have a chip on my shoulder. I'm always on the lookout for cultural issues, and I'm willing to talk them out because I think nothing good happens in the dark or in silence. Only just resentment builds up, and then you start making assumptions about other people. They start fitting into whatever bias you have, and the cycle continues. What's the point of that? So I feel like just get it out in the open, talk about it. And again, if you want to be in any kind of relationship, you've got to talk about the hard stuff. You meet somebody and they're only talking.
It doesn't have to just be, outside of your race to have the difficult time. You have to be able to communicate regardless.
Yeah. About the hard stuff though.
Yeah.
And if you meet somebody and all they want to talk about is what you look like and like
we're going off the rails here
like
a little bit.
Superficial stuff, then they're not really in it for the hard stuff. Okay? So I hope that answered some of your questions, and
I want to
babe, this is going on a 10-minute video. This is not the ideal amount of time for YouTube.
I know. I don't know, but I want to make sure that we address the comment because it's very valid. If you're feeling
not heard,
not heard or being treated unfairly, and the person that you care about isn't giving you the support, that's troubling.
Yeah, it's painful, and it can make you even more mistrustful. So don't retreat.
And I would expect it to happen. Mm-hmm. Whether on purpose or not on purpose, whatever it is, it's going to happen, I would think. Mm-hmm. I think the important thing is that it doesn't continue to happen and that you're able to discuss it.
And you call them out and they call you out and talk about it. All right? Drop us some comments, like and subscribe. You know the deal. We're trying to spread love here. Spread love and conversation through our shenanigans. We can't guarantee that we're going to have more videos up soon. You see how we roll. We are busy. You are busy. The world is busy. But we're doing our best. I hope you're taking care of yourselves. Bye.